Lesley. How are you?
I'm great. Really good. Really well. Thank you.
It's really lovely to see you again. So I was initially looking for someone to film this video with, and no one had really clicked yet, and no one had really kind of understood the premise of it yet. And I met you, and I thought, this is someone who I can speak to. And I think everyone thought I was a bit mad, saying, I found someone on the train, we spoke for an hour, and now I'm going to do this with her. But I'm really glad you're up for it.
I loved the connection that we made on the train. And I think when I came away, I thought, she's today. So
I was a bit flustered and stressed getting on a train with a huge bag and a guitar. And thank goodness you were there as an extra seat for the guitar. So my song Fragments, I started writing on the ferry on the way back from the Isle of Lewis, which is where I'm from. And I guess the whole concept of the song is about having somewhere that you love, feeling like it's always part of you and you're always part of it. And we had a lovely chat about that, and I think you said some beautiful things about how Scotland draws you in and how you're so attached to it, and it really kind of resonated with me, and you just almost like explained the song back to me, which was really beautiful.
Scotland's incredibly important to me, but it is home. I've lived in many places in Scotland, but I always felt that the Highlands were my soul.
Yeah.
And I always, although I lived in Edinburgh for 35 years, I always wanted to move back north. But north of the Forth Road Bridge, as soon as I crossed the bridge, as soon as I got to kind of to a Keld area where the hills start to get higher, I felt home.
Yeah.
It was also interesting because I'm doing some work with people on the Skye, and you were talking about Lewis, and home has always been a bit of a quandary for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to an island. I hear people talk about Skye being home, and even generations who haven't lived there still talk about it as home.
Yeah.
And I was kind of exploring my own thoughts and feelings, and I was like, how do I know where home is? Because I've lived in so many places. I was born in the south of England.
Yeah.
I've lived there for a very short time.
Yeah.
I've lived in the Central Belt, I've lived in the Highlands, I've moved around, I've lived in France.
Yeah.
And I'm like here.
Yeah.
Highland Perthshire.
Yeah.
And so our conversation was really interesting because trying to figure out why I'm here.
Yeah. You have all these questions, I think, in life, and like, I mean, I know I'm only 20, but I feel like I've learned so much about myself and about where I am already, and it's like, I find that extremely interesting, and I mean, it's why I wrote the song, and I was on the ferry, and it was a day like this, it was beautiful, and the sea was glistening and calm, and I could see all the rocks and islands going over into Ullapool, and it was just gorgeous, and that kind of like landscape is something that you just know that will always be part of you.
Yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful, and it's really nice to like have that, and really important for me, which is why the song just kind of came to me. And I think you get moments like that where something just happens unexpectedly, like me beginning to write that song, meeting you, having a beautiful conversation about home, whatever and wherever that may be, you know. My first EP, 123 Degrees East, was about moving off the island to somewhere new. And I guess I draw a lot of inspiration from the places I go, from the places I come from, where I am now, where I'm going, where I've been. It's a big point of inspiration for my songs. Do you feel like you draw inspiration for obviously you're a writer as well and you're a playwright, but do you think that's an important part of inspiration or influence for what you write?
I haven't up until now. I haven't been aware of doing that.
Yeah.
I think my work has always heavily emotionally based.
Yeah.
So I draw on a lot of my emotional experiences, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm working on something just now, which is based on some work that I've been doing on the Isle of Skye. And I often tell other people's stories in a creative way. And I think what I'm doing now is trying to write my experience of going back and forward to the Isle of Skye as someone who doesn't come from there.
Yeah.
About that wounds. Also what your songs often are inspired by. Some of that is about some sort of deeply emotional issues in the past.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really brave of you to say that to a random stranger in a train. But I also think that's what often connects us with other people, whether we do that in our creative work, or whether we do that as human beings.
Yeah.
And I think that was lovely that we met on the train as human beings, and creative human beings. And for me, that was really inspiring.
No, totally. I think I came away from that train ride feeling kind of quite emotional, but really like happy and inspired. And I think it's a shame because I think I think in this day and age it's becoming a very, very rare moment where you will interact with a stranger like that. And I came off and I was like, oh my god, I want to throw my phone in the river. Like, I'll just get on a train every day and find someone. But but at the same time, it's really rare that you do find someone like that. I feel very lucky to have been able to have this conversation with you, and without sounding too hippy-dippy, I do think it was meant to be that we met, and I think that's such a lovely rare diamond in the current climate we live in. But I feel very lucky, and I'm glad you're coming to the gig tonight. So thank you so much for coming to chat to me.
I don't think it's hippy-dippy at all. I strongly believe in serendipity and things happen for a reason. It's rare these days that happens, but it's definitely something that I think is worth exploring more, because people are fascinating. And I'm really looking forward to hearing your music live.
Fragments has another little fragment attached to it now, and I'll definitely sing the song and think of you for years to come.
Oh, thank you.